All right.
Cool.
We are live.
All right.
Cool.
Dance, monkeys, dance. I'll check the audio.
Wait, did you actually make monkey noises?
Yeah,
God damn it.
I did.
God damn it.
Hey man, I can't dance well.
You sure? All those times that you were at the strip
Hey
club?
man,
Didn't
you
do
saw,
anything?
Oh shit, you saw the clips?
Yeah, I did.
Dang man, I told her, hey, don't share these. These are private.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
She was like, "What are you talking about? You signed up for this." I'm like, "No."
um
Yeah man, but how we sounding? We sounding good? We sounding that good? I don't know.
Man, I can't wait to talk about this game, man. Oh,
About Dragon?
yeah, speaking of which, I just finished watching a 7-hour Resident Evil series retrospective.
Holy crap!
Yeah, this guy's channel is fucking awesome, man. He does deep dives on like a lot of like series, but he'll do like entire like all the games in like a franchise or whatever in like one big video. So like last night I finished watching. He did like I think like a 2 or 3 hour Dead Space retrospective.
Ooh,
That was really
sounds
fun.
great.
Yeah, he did one on like the entire God of War franchise. He did both The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, which was like really really good. Just like hearing his thoughts on the second game. But yeah, the Resident Evil one was his latest video to come out. It was fucking 7 hours, man. So it covered like all the remakes, Revelations 1 and 2. Outbreak was in there. Uh, Obviously 7, 8, 6. Like it was a pretty extensive. Code Veronica is obviously X Zero. Yeah, it was really good. It was like his first time playing through those games, so it was like it was really cool.
I'm probably the only Resident Evil fan that just absolutely despises Code Veronica.
Never
Um,
played it.
I think he said that's the one with like Rebecca and Billy, right?
No, that's zero. Code Veronica is with Claire, I think.
Yeah, it's with Claire and some clown. I don't know his name.
Steve, right?
Oh, okay, is that what? Is that
Sure.
what it is? Minecraft Steve.
I think it's Steve, but I'm pretty sure
Minecraft
From Minecraft.
Steve.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't too hot on that game as well.
Yeah, it was shorter than I was expecting. It just wasn't fun as like the other ones.
He actually like defended remake 3 as well. He said as much as remake 2.
People just shit on it because it's short.
Well, I think also just because they cut some stuff out too. I mean, that kind of turned me off from getting it day one when they cut some stuff out from the original game.
Was it good stuff, or was it like, oh, I could do without it?
No, I think they cut like a whole section.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think it was like I forgot what section it really was because it's been a while since I played the first one and since I seen the news. But I think it was like the tower or bell tower section, something like that.
Yeah,
But
the clock tower.
the clock tower, yes. So they cut that entire section out, and I was just like,
Oh, Tower of Eladra?
No, man.
no, that's the tower that I rage quit from. No,
That's the wrong game, man.
Wrong game? Oh, okay.
oh my god, that's a freaking dinosaur.
I finally got to the icon, the idol.
Wait, hold up.
Uh,
Wait, Macho, you stopped playing Demon Souls? You rage quit
Yeah,
on?
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
he sold it.
Absolutely.
He sold
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I gave that bad boy back to GameStop.
Oh
Yeah, give it back.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I said I was quitting it.
He was for real. He was for
I-
real.
I got a nice little refund on that one.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
it do be
I'll
crazy.
tell you, man, I did not have the patience for that Tower of Latria or any of that
Hey
bullshit.
man, gotta be honest. I beat the idol. Now I'm in this section where there's like demons and you can like fall a lot.
Yeah,
And I'm taking my time. Holy
the
crap.
true Tower Latria part.
Yeah, that part. It's
The
kicking my
true
ass.
Tower Lachia.
Yeah.
Get outta here.
Yeah, man. That's when you're up in the fucking like the legitimately like the tower section.
Yeah, it's
That's
tough.
when you become a man.
It's tough. It's tough. And man, it's the controls that just add to the toughness. Because it's not as floaty as Dark Souls 3. There's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Nah, I'm good.
So we're starting off episode 27 of the DualShock Sense Podcast with a little bit of disappointment, man. I'm saddened by this news. To be honest,
Oh man.
man, this is crazy. Guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Soul, connoisseur of anime waifus. As always, joined by my two co-hosts, Macho. How you doing, man?
How's it going, everyone? It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic. Doing my thing here, grinding some Final Fantasy 14. It's been a long week, dude. I don't know what was with this week. I had training for new parts of the job, and it was tough, but we went through it. And it's the weekend. I'm ready to game and have some fun. Looking forward to this podcast because we got a lot to talk about, man. A lot of exciting stuff happened this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got Walt. How you doing, man?
What's up, y'all? Let's see how this sounds. It's the Manga Maniac. Because that's all I've been doing.
I love it.
Man, and let me tell you, I found this new profound love for reading manga and just discovering gems here and there and collecting like my old
Jesus.
collections that I've been starting
Fucking-
for years. Stop with the Dragon's Dogma rage, Jay.
look,
God.
but look what
Stop
just
playing that game.
look what just happened.
What? Did you die?
No, like some fucking I don't know, some like chicken head
I swear.
thing.
Chicken head?
Yeah, flew down.
So every time Jay rages in the game or something, it sounds like he's like his cat or something just knocked over a glass of milk. And he's
Sounds like he stepped on poop. It's like, he's just walking like, oh, God damn it. It's you.
My bad. Go.
No, you're good. No, man, I'm going to try that Among Me. It's been a good week. It's been a chill week. Haven't played too much, but I have played different things. Still playing here and there a bit of Fortnite, having fun with the boys and with the D&D group every now and then. Just have some fun. Now when it comes to
I think the
single player-
Manga Maniac actually suits you, to be honest.
Really? Sweet, man. Gonna see if it sticks. Other than that, man, Tales of Arise finally completed the demo. I will get into that later with the games when we talk about the games we've been playing, because Macho also has been playing that game, the demo. But other than that, man, eventful week. It's a video game week. So mostly video game topics, not too much, nitty gritty development or too much company focused news, but a lot of game announcements and game related topics, which I like. Not like this is a video game podcast or anything. Am I right?
Good and
Very
bad
true.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, man, ready to get into this.
Yes, sir. And as always, we are going to kick things off by talking about the games that we've been playing. And Macho, why don't you start things for us, man? Because I'm intrigued, to say the least, to hear your thoughts on a specific game.
Oh yeah, I got you. Let me actually bring up my notes because I actually had to write them down so I wouldn't forget.
Oh,
Yeah, man, give me a reason, because I haven't touched it, haven't really delved into that game in any way.
Yeah, so I'll just start off then. Back and forth throughout the week, I've actually been playing the Overcooked All You Can Eat package with my fiance.
not
I bet you weren't expecting that,
Yeah,
huh?
not the game I was looking for, but okay.
Exactly. I said we're gonna start small and work our way up. So yeah, I've been playing that with the fiance because Best Buy had their amazing 10-day deals, and Overcooked 2 was on there, so I decided to pick it up. And we've just been playing through that, been beasting, getting all 3 stars. Also just shouting out very bad words at each other at the same time. It's just craziness whenever we start playing, but it's a lot of fun. Next is Great Ace Attorney. Almost done with the first game, and the cases are very long. I think it got knocked down from being my Game of the Year nomination. Um, Simply because it's the pacing still it's a little off. It's some cases go on for too long, or they touch on topics that are just for way too long, more than usual. So it's like when you're watching a movie, right? And it usually goes on for like what, hour and a half to 2 hours, and then in a Great Ace Attorney, you'll have like one section, either like a trial or the investigation, that goes on for about 2 hours, but it's mostly just about the same thing. So, but
Oh wow.
but you're like uncovering like minute details and little aspects of like what's going on. So like the trial part is like the most exciting thing, but the investigations were kind of like it feels a little sluggish. So that's the only thing. But I'm almost done with that game. I'll go on to the second game and see if if everything wraps up really nicely. Which from what I'm seeing online, it really does, and it's worth just going through like the slow parts.
Question. Do you still think it's a good entry point for newcomers?
Yes and no. I say yes because it's a fresh story, and what they're doing with the new character that's the ancestor of Phoenix Wright, it's really cool. Like you can tell like he's not a Phoenix Wright carbon copy, or not even like the characters. Like you can see similar traits between like, okay, this person kind of embodies this character from the original trilogy, this, that, and the third, but it's mostly just like original characters, and you really are going on like this guy's self-discovery of, what it means to be a defense lawyer, and of course in the very like anime sort of terms, not like the actual defense lawyer in real life, but
Right.
but just like
If it
his
was
own
an
like
actual
personal
lawyer game,
journey.
it'd be boring as hell.
Exactly, yeah. But it's like more of his personal journey. So yeah, in that sense, it's great for newcomers, and also there's the quality of life features that come with it as well. Bad for newcomers, I will say mostly because of the quality of life features. Because if you're experiencing them in this collection, you're not going to experience them in the trilogy collection, which those were added afterwards. So, but yeah, that's Great Ace Attorney. Next is the Tales demo, which Walt and I will get into once he talks about it. Again, a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 here and there. But the premiere title, the one that Jay's been waiting for, the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart Killer out here.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Wow. What about Jay missing out?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I've been playing Psychonauts 2. Downloaded on Wednesday. I put about maybe 10-ish hours into it. Maybe a little less. It's actually a pretty big game. The levels are pretty lengthy, and the one thing that I will give Psychonauts 2 so much credit for is its originality in terms of storytelling, more or less. I feel like this is one of the most original stories in the game. Not precisely like on like character motivations or even like plot elements or everything like that. It's more just like the idea of like the Psychonauts and the character Raz, and like kind of how he navigates through all this stuff, and how he's being underestimated by the bigger Psychonaut agents, and how he has a lot to prove there. But he's also humble at the same time. He's not like super cocky or headstrong or anything like that. So, and yeah, his character interactions with everyone else is really nice. But as far as like level design goes, I feel like it's super creative, and it's definitely an eye pleaser. But it's not really blowing me away per se. I feel like it's an improved, better than the first game. And the first game was nice to look at as well, but this one is just, it does take it up a notch. But like if you're gonna compare it to something like, for me, like Alice Madness Returns, then I feel like it falls short of the mark. Yeah, but it could be just an aesthetic thing too, because Psychonauts 2 definitely embodies the Tim Burton super skinny limbs, big ass heads, like weird looking characters, kind of a style to it, and it suits it. But at the same time, I'm not completely blown away by like the level design or anything like that. I think it's more of like the visual appeal and of that more than anything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and if we're gonna compare apples to oranges too, and by that I mean Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart to Psychonauts 2, because I know people have been doing that, and whether it's wrong to do that with other cases, it's whatever. But if we're gonna compare apples to oranges here, like the combat does not hold a candle to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the combat is it's neither here or there. It's really more just about the platforming and sort of just following on the story because there are quite a bit of cutscenes and dialogue in Psychonauts 2.
Mm.
So, but yeah, it's good though. I really like it. I'm definitely gonna finish it. But I'm not like aching to like go back to it every time. It's more just like, okay, I want to get farther to see where the story goes and what's the resolution going to be.
Right.
But like after like maybe 2 to 3 hours is when I just start to cap out. I'm just like, okay, I want to play something else.
Question.
Yeah.
Question. Can you hop on this game without playing the first one?
Yes, it's more because they have like a nice little recap that goes on to it and that goes before you actually play the game. And the thing is too, this game ties into the VR game, the PlayStation VR game, the Rhombus of Ruin. So
Okay.
there's actually story threads there, and I never played it, but they did provide like a really nice like little recap of like what happened during that game, so you can know what's going to go on through here. It's a very simple story. There's nothing like really crazy about it. There's not like some complicated rules of how psychonauts work or how any of this really works. Really, it's just more like it's like early 2000s kid humor animation that can be great for a TV show,
Right.
but it works so well as a video game because you're interacting with everything, and that makes it more better. I mean, it makes it better.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah. If you guys have any questions, I'll leave it up to the panel here. I know Jay, you're heavily
Yeah,
anticipating
Jay, go for it.
what's going on here.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you basically answered like everything that I. It's yeah. I'm just very interested how this game turned out to be like really good. You know, like a lot of people are enjoying it. That's definitely one thing that I've been noticing in like the little bit of gameplay that I've watched is that even more so than Ratchet, it definitely looks a lot more platformer heavy or more focused in its gameplay. So yeah, that's definitely
100%.
appreciated. But just in general, man, I'm a big fan of seeing, even going back to like Astro, even going back to like to Crash 4, right? It almost feels like there's a resurgence of these sort of like 3D action platformers, and it definitely feels like, kind of like I just feel nostalgic, back to that PS2 era, and it feels really cool seeing these games coming out and doing really good.
Yeah, no, but that's a perfect point that I'm glad you brought up because I was actually thinking about that when I was playing this morning, where I was playing through it, and while again I wasn't like super blown away by the level design or anything like that, I was still enjoying my time because it brought me back to that early 2000s era where I was just having fun, kind of just meandering around like in like this little open environment they have there, and how reminiscent made me feel of like the older platformer games on PlayStation 2 and stuff like that. So if Psychonauts 2 reviewing well and it doing well and it actually being a great game, if this can lead to even more of interest in games like this nowadays in this era, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, cool, Psychonauts 2 got a sequel. When are we gonna get that Alice 3 game?
Ooh,
You
it's
know,
coming.
that
It's coming.
that the guy's been working on and trying to pitch to publishers for years now.
He's
When did
streaming the ideas and the brainstorming and all what he has in stock and what he hopes
yeah, and
to
he
do
has
consoles with.
he looks like he has a winner, man. He looks like he has a winner there. And if it takes two did as well as it did, and it of course it did because I gave it my game of the year. I gave it a perfect score on floors of gaming.net. And Psychonauts 2 just being a home run as well, as far as like kind of those classic 2002 or not 2002, but like PS2 platformers, then I'm all for it, man. Yeah, it's I'm glad this game came out and it's as good as it is.
Yeah,
And
for
it's on
sure.
Game Pass, right? Is it on Game Pass?
Yeah, it is on Game Pass. Yeah,
That's right.
it,
Um,
it is on Game Pass, and it's definitely worth a download for sure.
okay.
And
Okay, okay.
thankfully it works. It's not half a game. It's a full
Oh
game.
man, what are you saying,
So
man? What are you
so
saying?
No, I'm trying to spell the narrative around here, man. I'm just saying, I'm trying to help the greenies out, man. I'm trying to help them out.
Oh man, this is crazy. Already
I
getting
love
into
y'all.
it.
I love
Um,
y'all.
oh man.
Wild.
But yeah, no, for real. Like generally, like I do hope that this means that. I mean, obviously, we gotta wait for sales and whatnot, but I do hope that this leads to more of a resurgence for these types of games. 'Cause yeah, I'm always a big fan of platformers. So
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
multi-platform too, so
yeah,
you can grab it on PlayStation if you like.
but I ain't getting it. So
Why not? Wait, so why won't you pick it up?
it's got that Xbox stench on it, man. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. But no, man. I don't know. Like I'm still like just time and honestly like money, man. Like if Dragon's Dogma, man,
I feel
wasn't
you.
wasn't $8, man, I would not be playing anything right now. So yeah, man. I honestly like I didn't pick up Tsushima's director's cut. I purely want to get the Death Stranding director's cut purely because of the box art. So,
It's
but
a
at
true
the
gamer right there.
yeah, but at the same time, like I probably won't even be able to do that. So like I'm probably gonna have to wait till like the end of the year to get some of these things. Cause yeah, money's a little tight for a
Yeah, I
college
feel that.
student right now, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel you. Tales of Arise and Final Fantasy 14 and Walker are gonna
fuck,
be legit my last gaming purchases for the year.
I forgot about that too, man. I wanted to get that game. God damn it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, that's like I said, man. I do hope that it does well. I mean, in August, there's not really much competition, so I think it'll do. I mean, hopefully it'll do well in MPDs. But yeah, man, that's yeah, very very happy for that game, man.
Same.
So I guess the big question, do you think, because I think looking at the rest of the slate for this year, I don't really see anything else, or maybe I'll be wrong, but maybe Tales of Arise will be that good, but do you see Psychonauts
Yes,
being
sir.
in sort of the end of the year game of the year sort of lineup for the Game Awards?
No, I mean, I feel like it would do very well in, I'll say like in the art department. Because again, gameplay is not really doing anything new or fantastic. Like I said, I'm not really being blown away or really like having like oh my god, I'm having so much fun playing this game. Like I'm it's not that. It's more just like wow, like I'm entranced and I'm really interested in like how they're displaying like these things that are originally have no physical form. Like as far as like psycho abilities and stuff like that, or just like the ingenuity of like the levels really. So I
Yeah,
think it's gonna win points in that, but like I feel like there are definitely other games this year that were better. It Takes Two being one of them. Like out of all the
Yeah, I was
games from
about to
this
say.
year, that game is the one that has blown me away and does things better than any game I played this year so far.
gotcha.
But again, we'll
Um,
see what Tales of Arise comes in because I'm very excited for that. So
yeah, man. And I was thinking that
Definitely.
No More Heroes 3 would do well, but
Hey,
shout out to Suda51, man. It did do well though. It got like what 79
yeah,
or something like
79.
that on Critic.
But
that's not
you know
bad.
what I mean,
That's actually pretty
like
good.
game of the year sort
Game
of.
of the year contender.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but yeah, man,
there's a couple. There's
that's
a couple contenders that because the year. Here's the thing for me. I forget that the first half of the year happened because it still felt like 2020. So like a lot of the games that are contenders that could be contenders, I forget that they could be contenders because I forget that they came out this year. Uh,
yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
yeah, that's fair. Um, all right, man, that's yeah. So that's gonna wrap up our Psychonauts 2 talk. I'll jump in here really quick and talk about Dragon's Dogma, man, the game that has been like
The Witcher
utterly
killer.
what was that?
The
The
Witcher killer.
The Witcher.
Oh man, let's not go. Let's not go that far.
Okay, okay,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, this game I've in a week I've already poured in like 28 hours into this game.
Wow,
Um, yeah, it's the only thing I've been.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
that's impressive. I didn't expect
Um,
that.
yeah. So I mean, just for I guess painting like a broad brush, this is like a open world pseudo RPG, even though you're not really like making any like big decisions or there's no like dialogue options, anything of that nature. But you are obviously building out your own character, um, kind of building out your own class. The true kind of like I don't want to call it like a gimmick, but like the thing that this game really hangs its hat on is the pawn system. And it's essentially this idea of like, okay, you create like you always walk around the game with a party of three, four in total, including yourself. One of them you get to create yourself, basically like the same character creator screen as how you made your own character. So you make one of your the people in your party, you get to design their eyes, their mouth, their hair, their body shape, their voice, all of that stuff, and then you get to choose like what class they're going to be. If you want them to be a mage, you want them to be like a knight class, do you want them to be an assassin class? And how that's determined is really interesting because the game asks you like a series of questions, and based off of those questions the game basically assigns that character to a specific class. So I answered the questions in a specific way that made my specific pawn into a mage character. So that's basically your pawn, but the other two characters are people that you just find on the road. So the game world is littered with just weird, random looking characters, like this mage character right here. Like I can straight up ask her, "Hey, do you want to join my party?" And you have to pay like a certain amount of like money or currency, and she can just straight up join your team. And there are so many NPCs littered around the game world that you can just add to your team. It's a really really cool system, and the true kicker is that these are all like like characters that other players have created. If you're playing online, they kind of like invade your world, and you can just straight up use them for your own party. And it's really cool. But there's also like a weird thing that like they don't level up, so that kind of encourages you to constantly switch them out, if that makes sense. So like for the longest time I had like a level 6 mage that I just like plucked off of the road, and I was wondering like why isn't he leveling up? Like me and my main pawn are like level 12 and this guy was still level 6. And that's when I figured out that like, okay, the other pawns in your party don't level up. So yeah, you have to keep switching out your party. So like literally earlier in the stream I just switched out for this girl named Clove because she is a level 28, and the mage that I had before her was a level 22. So like yeah, I had to sort of like update my roster a little bit or whatever. But like straight up, like I can ask this girl, Ambrosa, she's a level 27, and I could ask her like, "Hey, do you want to come onto my party?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So it's a really cool little again like little mechanic or whatever that again, like I said earlier, ensures that you're always kind of messing around with new characters or new classes. So yeah, that's definitely kind of like the biggest mechanic that this game has going for it. But
It it reminds me a lot of the Nemesis system in Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, and how it also encourages you to keep switching like troops, and how the enemy itself switches depending on how like circumstance. So if you defeat an enemy, that enemy can come back later on revived as like like seeking revenge. But like in your party or your allies, you can recruit and change position. Like you can have a commander, and you can have like a lower level like grunt, and switch them depending on how you want each one to perform. It's less restrictive than what you mentioned the pawn system is like, because it sounds like this one you have to switch. If not, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in the Nemesis system, at least the world is always changing, no matter what you do. Like you can't stay and like it doesn't become stagnant, you know.
Right.
Which this one, if you don't know that, it can become tedious. I think I don't know. It sounds like it, but
Yeah.
you sound smart. You sound smart with your decision.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. But speaking of like don't know and like not knowing things, that's kind of like one of my biggest like I don't want to say like negatives, but like just nitpicks about this game is that like man, this game does not tell you a lot. Like you really have to figure out a lot of things for yourself, which
Like
isn't
Dark
that.
Souls?
What was that?
Like Dark Souls?
Um,
Or
I don't
worse?
know, but like I mean specifically like the like what I just said about like the pawn system about like I didn't know for the longest time that like specific like the other two pawns in your party don't level up with you. Like I you know after you know playing for a little bit like I had to figure that out for myself, which again isn't necessarily bad, but there's like some other things in this game that I wish that they would tell you, right? Like you know, like upgrading weapons or getting new armor and things of that nature. Yeah, also there's something that there's like this there's a ton of like status ailments in this game, and one of them is this weird ailment that like affects your character's voices. Not necessarily my character's voice because you're a silent protagonist, but like the pawns that you walk around this game with, um, if they get attacked by this one specific move, their voice gets like really really deep. Like imagine like a Darth Vader voice, essentially. It's really really fucking annoying. And so like for like the longest time I was like is this a glitch, like why is he talking like this? And yeah, I basically had to get like this specific item that cures their voices, but at the same time like you can't make these characters take like healing herbs or you know herbs that cure poisons or helps them to regain their voice. Like they have to physically do them because like you manage like all your characters inventories, which can kind of be overwhelming. You can give them things from your inventory and put them into theirs, but like you can't physically say like okay here use this. Like they have to do it themselves. So that can kind of be a little bit weird because like sometimes they won't use it. So this character, even though he had the herbs to heal his voice, he wouldn't fucking use it. I'm like, dude, please use. I'm tired of listening to your to this deep ass voice. Um,
So you're telling me that the AI for Kingdom Hearts is a lot better than the AI for Dragon's Dogma?
listen, I
Okay,
didn't.
okay, that's a point one for Kingdom Hearts. Let's go.
Listen, I didn't bring Kingdom Hearts into this.
Listen, man, I'm the king of Kingdom Hearts. I always gotta bring it into this. Is my reign. I stomp on my throne here.
Donald Duck
Point
feels
one.
better
Oh
than
man,
anything
but
in Dragon.
okay, but to that point, that's one thing that I will definitely give credit to this game for is that the AI specifically in combat, and even just like in you know traversing the world, like following you is like really really good. They're actually you know not unlike you know Halo 5 Guardians and you know their NPCs. These guys like legitimately are helpful in combat. Like there's sometimes they'll like hold enemies for you. Specifically like when you're getting attacked, they will come straight to you and kind of like you know help you out if you're being overwhelmed. They like the mages constantly heal you, or they'll constantly imbue your sword with fire, which obviously does you know double damage or whatever, which is really cool. Like it like that has not been a worry of mine whatsoever. Like everyone is super helpful. When you get when other characters get downed, or if you're inflicted with like sleep for instance, they'll come over and pick you up, kind of like smack you back awake. It's really cool.
Back up, samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I guess combat as well is pretty cool. Specific like I guess like normal, like light and heavy attacks aren't anything, to write home about, but like there's these special abilities, like I have this blink ability like that. I have like a whirlwind attack and like a shield, like a this one attack that I like dig my sword into the ground, and that's kind of like a AoE attack. There's this one really cool, like, so you have like special attacks for your sword and special attacks with your shield for my class, and there's this one special attack with my shield that like I launch one of my party members into my air, like into the air, like he jumps onto my shield, and I just like launch him into the air, and then he comes down like slamming his sword into the ground. It's really really
That's
cool,
kind of
man.
dope.
Yeah, like the special attacks in this game are fucking sick. And like if those things weren't into the game, weren't into the actual combat, then I think I would not enjoy the combat nearly as much. Because like just by itself, like I said, the heavy and light attacks are pretty boring, but like the special moves definitely spice things up a bit. And I would imagine that like if you were playing like an assassin build or a mage build, you might have a little bit more fun. But at the same time, I'm having a lot of fun just doing a regular night class. But yeah, and then I guess like the last thing I'll touch on is that there's definitely like a charm to this game. Like you can tell that this is definitely like a 2012 game for sure. It's definitely got that that 2012 like ugliness on it. But like there's also like with its cutscenes especially, man. Like there's just a certain charm with it because it's so goofy. Like it's got that almost like sky, not even Skyrim, but it's got that.
Oblivion or Morrowind.
Yeah, like where it zooms in on characters' faces when they talk.
Yeah.
It's got that, but like as well as like in cutscenes, like sometimes when characters are done talking, the camera will like follow them as they run off. It's like it's the most unnecessary thing ever, but it's hilarious every single time. And it's like it's not a good running animation either. It's just like them like I don't know, just like weirdly or like awkwardly like jogging off. So yeah, it's pretty hilarious, man. But yeah, man,
Love
it's
to see it.
yeah, for sure. It's and more often than anything, it's just charming. It's just funny to see. Yeah, and then I guess one of my biggest complaints so far is just like environment wise, right? Like I'm guessing I'm still pretty early on into the game, and like it's a pretty large map, so I'm still kind of like in the southern sort of like middle region of the map. So I'm hoping once I get more like in the northern regions that I'll start to see more snow, because like it's been purely like forest areas so far. So I hope environment wise some things will start to change pretty soon. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Dragon's Dogma, man. Just like exploring the world, finding new items, finding new areas, finding bosses to fight, and dragons, which are like, don't fuck with the dragons, man. They are absolutely insane. I run every time that I see them. Unlike the Skyrim cardboard cutout dragons that you fight. But yeah, man, this game is really fun. I'm so glad that I'm playing it. Yeah, that's it for Dragon's Dogma. Walt, why don't you take it away, man? What have you been playing?
Well, thank you for asking, Jay. What I've been playing, uh, I played during the last weekend, but throughout the week, just been playing a little bit of Catherine here and there. That one I need to get in the mindset of because I can't just do it because it gets ridiculous, and I'm playing it on hard. I don't know
Oh
why.
man,
I won't,
can't be like Nike. Can't just do
and
it.
I won't change it. I ain't changing it. I'm gonna beat it on hard. Maybe I might change it. Other than that, last weekend I completed the Tales of Arise demo, but I only played with one character. Unlike Macho, that I believe played a couple different characters. My experience with that demo, I mean, we already went into detail. last podcast, and my feelings pretty much the same in regards to it. I This is a day one purchase for me. I This definitely feels like it has incredible potential. Unlike many of the other Tales games, this does feel like this will put the Tales series on the map, similar to how Yakuza
That's a
Zero
really
put
that's a
Yakuza
really
on the
good
map.
point. That this game more so than others, right? Because there's been a ton of like Tales games that have released, but I feel like
Oh
this
yeah,
one
a lot.
more so than others feels like it's getting like a lot of traction and a lot of attention. And
Absolutely.
I do see it, as you said, as the title to kind of like break through in the West and be that Yakuza Zero, that Persona 5.
Definitely, definitely, and you mentioned Persona 5, and just a quick thing, I Persona 5 solidified Persona in the West, but I feel like a lot of people's first experience was Persona Golden, but they didn't. I
Yeah,
feel like they just didn't see the reason why they should talk about it, because maybe not no one talked about it, but everyone knew about it. If that makes sense, you know.
yeah.
Uh, but when it comes to Tales, man, Tales of Arise, what I played, I mean, there's nothing really different I can say about it. I know Macho went to other characters, and I already talked about Kisara, which is the character I went with, which is pretty much the tank of the team. She's the a maze wielding, big ass shield wielding fighter. Uh, and one big thing before I let Macho go into detail with the other characters, because I want to hear what the others sound like. I really like that this game, unlike others, when fighting during combat, it very much does feel like these characters know each other. Like there's a certain synergy between each character, whether that be through their combo moves or just minor dialogue that they have here and there. Uh, it does feel like these people, they're not just like throw these generic, like archaic uh, type of character in there and have fun. It very much feels like there's a story here to be told. And after you beat the demo, you get a little cutscene. I don't know if it's the same cutscene for everyone, but you get a cutscene of the story. And I gotta be honest, it's been a while since the Tales game has like intrigued me to actually pursue like beating the story. Because the last Tales game that I actually was interested and am still playing, but I've it's on pause. It's on hold right now because of other games that I played, and Catherine very much is taking a lot of my mental energy. Uh, but Tales of Vesperia, and I've been playing it on the Switch. That game actually, I like it, and it's a fun game, and it's interesting up to where I've been playing it. But it hasn't captured me the way that this demo did. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know how. I can't really put it into words why, but I think it's all the reasons why we went last podcast, which is there's, for lack of a better phrase, it's built different. I don't know. It feels like it's built different. It definitely feels like I mentioned earlier, this will put the Till series on the map on the West. But Macho, I really want to hear what it sounds like from your perspective, because you did get to play not just Kisara. I think you got to play some of the other characters, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, I did. I got to explore the gameplay of all the characters really.
Ooh,
All the ones
tight,
that are
tight.
available in in the demo. I'm not sure if there's any more, or if there's any like guest appearances or anything like that. I'm kind of keeping myself in the dark on like certain story details or any story trailers or anything like that. I just really want to get a taste of the gameplay, just
Oh yeah.
because a little bit of like history on my Tales experience really is that I started with Abyss on 3DS and I really liked it. Um, and I picked up Symphonia and I think Races on PS3, but I never really dived too much into them because it just didn't really appeal to me as much, and I feel like they're a little bit more old school. So like I don't know, there's something that just didn't grab me in those. And to boot, they're very long JRPGs. Like these are anime JRPGs have a tendency to be super long games. So you really got to put like aside time to even play it, and I just didn't want to at that time. But what got me back into the series was Berseria. After like a lot of hesitation, a couple of friends just recommended it to me, and I ended up buying it on sale. And it got me back interested in the series. It was so good. The story was amazing. The gameplay was great. Stages were like okay. So when Tales of Arise was announced, I was obviously interested in what they're gonna do, especially with like it's a new engine. They're doing like a sort of like a new cell shaded kind of graphics anime look to it that
like a new
looks super
game.
polished.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and even when you're playing in the game, like it's one thing from seeing it in trailers, but like when you're actually playing it, you're like,
works.
holy, yeah, like it totally works. It looks super polished, it's vivid, it's colorful, it's beautiful, but playing it, man, it's a whole nother beast. Because one thing for a game to look great, right? But it's another for it to even play better.
Yeah.
And Tales of Arise is one of those games where like it just plays phenomenally, and it feels good to pull off really cool moves or even combos that you're synergizing with your other teammates. And speaking of teammates, there is definitely a lot of variety when it comes to playing as these different characters, which is really nice.
100%.
So the fact that Walt played Kisara and she's like more of kind of like she's the only character I believe that you play when you're playing that doesn't dodge. She actually guards because she has a huge shield.
Essentially, yeah, and she parries essentially with her. If you guard at the right moment, every other character does dodge, and I don't know if some of them dodge in a specific manner. I just know they dodge, but she's the only one that guards.
Yeah, which makes her already interesting to play as because now you kind of have a little bit of a different approach to these really aggressive enemies because the enemies in this game are actually they'll be up in your face about it. You know, they're there to knock you out. So you gotta come right. And so when it comes to the other characters though, as far as Alphen or I forgot the girl's name with the rifle. Walt, do you remember?
Man,
Shion or something like that. I think it's Shion's her
something.
name is.
It's something with it. Yeah, Shion, but Shione, it's written Shione, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
She has a rifle and she heals as well.
Yeah, she does. She does. So she plays differently, obviously, because she's more of a long range character, but she's also the most rigid that I found to be.
Right.
I was expecting the mage character. Again, I'm trying to remember names, but it's just escaping me at the moment. But the mage character I was expecting to be like more of like stationary, kind of casting spells, but she's super mobile and she's like all over the place when she's casting spells, and it looks super cool. So you got these different characters that are just doing really like cool looking shit. Like if there's one thing from a Tales game is that you want your characters to do cool things when you're playing as them. You know.
Gotcha. Her name's Rinwell, the maid.
Rinwell, okay.
Yeah.
Rinwell,
yeah,
okay.
I forget about them because I gotta be honest. The names they have, not that common. I don't think they're that common for like main characters in a JRPG. She, like Alphen, it does give like protagonist vibes, like very much like forgot the name, but the protagonist from the E series. Golly. Adolf. Yeah, there we go. It's Shion. Yeah, the way it's written, yeah, it's Shione. And Rinwell and Kisara is the tank, and then you have the martial artist, which is Law. I like them. I actually liked his personality, and you have the mysterious Dohalim the Second Juarez.
Yeah,
man.
he's a fucking rocket, man.
Walt said that. Walt said that with a little spice, man.
Hey man,
You tell he's looking up on Wikipedia, right?
Hey man, I needed to really because I remember hearing his name. I was like, wait, how do you say that?
Yeah, he's definitely looking up some Wikipedia. But no, it's, like you said, Law, who's like the martial artist or martial artist. He's more up my alley when it comes to the gameplay style because I love the monk fisticuffs kind of character that wants to get up in your face, do cool flips and stuff like that. He's definitely that character. But if I had to choose a second like favorite class or weapon or whatever, it would be like the Lancer, and that's where Dohalim falls in, where he's just doing all these crazy flips and it's nuts like what you can do in this game. And like you said with Dragon's Dogma, actually, Jay, where like you have like your special text that makes the gameplay more interesting in that game.
Yeah.
Tales of Arise already has an interesting combat and engaging combat, but on top of that, it adds to the anime flair of like these crazy special attacks that you could pull off that are called like critical attacks or something like that.
Yep. And you can perform. I don't know if it's the same attack, but you can perform these critical, which are like synergetic attacks, with anyone. Like they all. If I don't know to the extent of how many combos, like synergized moves you can do, but it does feel like everyone can do anything with anyone. Like everyone has a move with like each other, and I love it. It definitely feels like it won't get boring. The only thing that it did, and I think you mentioned it before we started the podcast, uh, which is the the move name calling. Um,
Yeah,
which
yeah, oh yeah, we
it
did talk about it. Yeah, where like they just don't they just don't shut the fuck up when they're actually battling, and it's the anime thing.
windbreaker,
My God,
windbreaker. And I'm like, bro,
uh,
I
my
get it.
fiance is
so
like
anime.
looking at the screen and she's
Yeah.
like, I'm getting anxiety just hearing that.
It's very anime, yeah. And here's the thing, I'm used to it to a fault. Like to the point where if I don't hear it, I'm like, it feels very quiet. Like like honestly, whenever I play JRPG or an action RPG, like or like even a Muso game, it does feel like if there's no words, I'm like, why is it so quiet? But then you hear like the I don't know, thousand sword attack or whatever it is, which is not. It's always some shit like that, right? Normal consecutive punches or whatever.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. But no, yeah, it definitely does that. And
Yeah.
I was telling Walt before that I'm kind of hoping that in the main game they give you the option to
Mute
turn that off. Yeah,
Just turn the voice
like
down.
it's like it's like eventually it'll be like white noise after a while, right? You just tune it
Yeah.
out. But even then, like
For that grind,
I
man.
swear,
That
yeah,
grind is gonna be brutal.
I just hope I can just turn it off, yeah, because I swear if I had to hear if I had to hear like something like healing arts or I'll just I'll just lose my shit after a while.
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, yeah. Like.
That's pretty much the highlight of this week was that demo for me. And Catherine, man, Catherine, it's gonna be a lot of the same for a while because I'm taking my time with the levels because I don't. When I'm doing them, if I die, I try to like take take a minute, breathe, be like, okay, it's a game. I'll beat it. This is like the 20th time I'm dying, but it's okay. We'll get there. And I feel like that'll be me for weeks. But when I beat it, oh, it'll be rewarding. It'll be good. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, Tales of Arise, man. Pretty excited to jump on it when it comes out. Other than
Yeah.
that, man.
Yeah, well, Jay, what were you gonna say though to add to?
Oh no, we're good. We're good. Just move on.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Jay,
No,
what were
yeah,
you gonna
it's-
say,
it's-
Jay?
it's-
You better say it, Jay.
nah, it was just in regards to that anime point about people yelling out their like attack names. It's the goofiest.
And it's in
the
everywhere, right?
yes, it's both. It's
was
both the
anime.
goofiest thing, but also like the most hype thing ever. But yeah,
Right?
I could definitely see how that would be like grating if it's like constantly being done. But no, this is like this is really like encouraging to hear, man, because like this is my first Tales game, or would be my first Tales game. So, hearing the positive reception is definitely making me feel a lot better about getting it down the line.
Yeah, and I mean to add to that point too, Jay, because I know the thing is when it comes to these Tales games, is their pacing can be thrown to a loop. And what I mean by that is that it's like it's going too slow of a certain pace, or like there's too much of one thing sometimes. Because it is an anime JRPG, so when it goes full throttle, it goes all in. But when it comes to this one, it really feels like they polished it to a T in the writing and the exploration and discovery and combat wise. That it's definitely going to be like it's going to take the series into skyrocket plane. And
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm excited for people to jump into this and for this to be kind of like their first Tales of game. Would I recommend them to go back to play the older ones? No, not really.
Honestly, if you have a PS3, play Tales of Exilia. I still
Yeah,
think that
okay,
one
yeah,
holds up
yep.
to a point.
That one I do agree. Exilia and Berseria are the ones I would say that if you're gonna go back and play the older ones, play those. But Arise is like that's a new beast, man. It's gonna be good.
Absolutely. And to add to Jay's point about the anime thing, it's hype when it's like that one move that you want that character to have performed throughout the whole series, and it's like they finally learn it, and you're like, yeah,
or their critical attacks. They're critical attacks,
they're
right?
critical attacks, man. It's so hype. Whenever, I mean, there's anime that don't have that, but like all the shonens have that, like Naruto, like just Fairy Tail, like all these, they have that one moment that's just like, I don't know, like Dragon Breath. I don't fucking know. And you're like, yeah.
Like, yeah, he's using Dragon Breath. Or whenever Bleach just goes like Bankai, you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
it's about to go down.
Yeah, that's the
Or
one.
like Naruto when he first does like that Rasen Shuriken, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
he did it.
but
yeah, man.
yeah, man. That's I'm really happy to hear that. And that's it for you.
Yeah, man, that would be it for me. Ready to get into these topics with the podcast proper.
All right, yes, sir. Also, Jesus Christ, man. Uh, let's talk about Gamescom, man. So Jeff Keighley put on it feels like his yearly opening night live. In my opinion, I thought it was a pretty good show, man. There was at least for me, what I always look for in these things is that, like, something for everybody, and that was definitely true of this show as well. Even though like a lot of it
100%.
like wasn't for me specifically, there was definitely like a good, like 4 or 5 things that I saw in there that I was like at the very least like intrigued by, which is all I could really ask for with these things. But yeah, man, once again, man, I don't know why people like to dunk on Keeley, or like to clown on him, or just hate him, for whatever reason. I really don't understand. Like he just seems like a genuinely like cool dude who loves video games, and yeah, I don't know. I think he's doing a pretty good job with these shows and Game Awards and whatnot. But yeah, what about you guys? What you guys
agree.
think? What you guys think about the show?
I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Again, except I heard that. Well, I heard.
What?
Did someone make a fart noise?
No, that was me cracking my bones. I like stress and everything.
Oh man, dang! I didn't know bones could sound like that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
No,
those are those creaky ass old man bones, man.
Getting old, guys.
No, on serious note, I really liked it. Like you said, it was something for everyone, which I really enjoyed. There was definitely like a couple of games that were in that show that either that I was learning about, or I needed or wanted updates on, and I got them. So I was very excited for that. And most of the things I wanted from Gamescom was just some hard release dates for a couple of games, like Jurassic World Evolution 2. That's gonna be sealed for November 9th, which it looks really cool as like a Jurassic Park fan, and like this will be kind of like my first park builder kind of game that I'm engaging in. But from what it looks like, there's enough variety there, and like the dinosaurs and just the things that can happen, that makes it look really cool. So that looks awesome. And then Star Wars, like the I forgot what the actual title was called, but basically it's like all like 9 movies in one game. No, that's a Netflix series.
The
awesome,
Lego Star Wars.
That's like the first Star Wars thing that popped in my head.
No, yeah, the Lego Star Wars that you were saying, Jay. Yeah, that one. It looks cool, man. Because I grew up playing like the Lego Star Wars games, so I'm excited to kind of get like sort of like the definitive version of all 9 movies in here, with more likely updated combat, stuff like that the Lego games have been doing for years now. But yeah, it was good, man. And again, shout out to Jeff Keighley, man. He's a pioneer. Like I said, people like to dunk on him, but I don't understand why. He's definitely a pioneer up in the gaming industry, and
then like
making a lot of moves.
And then like the coolest thing about, well, first of all, like that, like I guess this kind of ties into Halo as well. But like how cool is that like the point of like his show has gotten to a point where like Xbox realizes that like his show is bigger than their Xbox Gamescom showcase or whatever it is, and the fact that he can get things like the Halo release date or the Elden Rings,
The reveal of the Xbox Series X.
that too, right? That his show has gotten to that big of a point where he can really get all of these major things from really anybody is really cool. But my original point was I really love how like after his shows specifically, I mean he does this with like every show, but like his show specifically, he'll ask for like, okay, like what do you guys think about it, right? He'll even go sometimes on like a Twitter, whatever it is, like a live call,
The Twitter Spaces, yeah,
right to chat with actual fans and things like that about he's constantly looking for feedback and just to gauge how people felt and how he can make future shows even better. And I think that's the coolest thing, man. It shows that he's humble and he genuinely cares and he wants to make these things as good as humanly possible. And I don't know, I just don't understand how people can dunk on that.
All right. Again, I think he's doing great in his shows, but to me, he's improving every year. So there's nothing that you can really go against that and say.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
sometimes feel like people dunk on people that it's hard to gauge like malintent or maliciousness. I don't know. Jeff Keighley definitely gives vibes of just just another video game like fan, like someone that just so happens that is excellent hosting and has all these great ideas. And I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to gauge why people will dunk so hard on a person of unless there's like actual like evidence of why. But in this case, it's hard for me to gauge. And I mean, same as with all Jeff Keighley related events. This was another great one. It's always fun. He brings energy to the events that he hosts. I don't know. There's a certain kind of energy. He gets me excited for things that I usually wouldn't get excited for. Not meaning that I'll buy whatever like he's announcing, but like in terms of like actually purchasing. But I'll definitely like, oh yeah, great. Like like I'll share the enthusiasm if that makes sense. Um, I don't know, man. It was good. It was good. It's good stuff. It's always good stuff. It's hard for me to get mad over stuff. I usually rant, but this time we good.
What was some of you guys's like standout things that came out of the show? Interestingly enough, I was not expecting Saints Row to get the backlash that it's been getting. Have you guys been seeing this?
Yeah,
You and
me
both,
neither.
bro.
Actually, yeah,
You
me
and me
neither.
both. It
Yeah.
is. When I saw that like to dislike ratio, it is baffling. It is baffling, and then I saw the backlash like online and what people were talking about, and a lot of the comments that I saw were in the vein of like, oh no, these aren't the same. These aren't my Saints Row like members. These aren't my crew. This isn't my crew, or no one will surpass Shawnee, John, and Gad or whatever the names were, and I'm just like, oh, I don't get it. I don't get that argument. It's like when people are like, no, this isn't Assassin's Creed anymore. It's like, what? I don't. To me, in general, I don't like the arguments of this isn't the real this. This isn't real Resident Evil. No, Resident Evil 6 is not Resident Evil. It's like, what do you mean? Like, I don't. And you can't really pinpoint it. They can't really just go, oh, it's not horror. It's like, no, there's horror in it. People, I don't know. People.
Yeah, no. People, what I've seen from people, or at least from podcasts, is that a lot of it has to do with like the goofiness of it.
Yeah, it's not goofy.
I think some people are okay with it just being a GTA clone, just
Right.
in a different sort of style, I guess. But my first entry was Saints Row 3, and while the series is not
the
like my
third,
absolute while my series is not my absolute favorite, I enjoyed the hell out of Saints Row 3.
Heck yeah.
I even got the platinum trophy on it because I just didn't want to stop playing. And
It's so fun.
you can say what you want about Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell, which I thought were just okay. I didn't get too far in Saints Row 4, but It's nice to see that at least what they're trying to do, and by they I mean the developers, that they're trying to sort of please the best of both worlds, where it looks like it's trying to blend a little bit of Saints Row, the seriousness of Saints Row 2, from what I've heard and seen, with the new game, and then the goofiness of the Saints Row 3. Which I'm okay with, you know, like this. It's always a fun time getting a big ass dildo just smacking people in the face with it. So that's if I can't get that in this
throughout the city.
yeah, if I can't get that in this game, I'm gonna be disappointed. So like,
Honestly,
sorry to
man,
say.
for me when I saw the trailer, in my mind I was like, oh sweet, like I don't know, like it's like you said, it's not a series that I'm like just frothing in the mouth for, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next entry. Like when I played the third, for me the third was the grounded, goofy one. The fourth was the all right, this is a video game. Like it very much felt like okay, this is a gamey ass game. Like the simulation premise of it, and the absurd powers. For me, it was just like it was pure fun. There was I got to the point where one of my big objectives was to just level up a certain tree to a point where you could get this move where if you went high enough and like smashed straight down, you could create like a nuke from your own like impact to the ground, and that was just fun. It was just like haha, a boom, all right, like I don't know, it's fun. But when it comes to this trailer, it looks fine. It looks.
Are people having like a lot of like a major issue with the fact that like it's kind of like a like the whole vibe and aesthetic is very like like boomer or whatever, like millennial compared to
Saw
like
the word.
go ahead.
I saw that comparison with Fortnite. When you say millennial, I saw a lot of people comment on this on the trailer being like, "This is just Fortnite but Saints Row," which I don't know what that means, Jay. Can you help me? What does that mean, Jay?
Yeah, I've kind of seen that sentiment being thrown around as well. But yeah, and the developers are sticking to it, I guess,
Yeah,
as they
good.
probably should. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, because I feel like it's rare for a game to come right out of the gate and to get such a vitriol sort of reaction and response to it, such like a negative sort of like dismissal of it during its announcement, right? Like that's
Mm.
that for that team, it has to suck, man, because you're already right from the get-go, you're already fighting an uphill battle, and we know gamers, man. Gamers are stubborn, and it's going to be very hard to get them to sway their opinions the other way, or for that pendulum to swing the other way. So hopefully, man,
Didn't they make
through more gameplay and trailers and whatnot, they can convince more gamers to get on board, but it's going to be really tough.
didn't they make another game after Saints Row called like Agents of Mayhem or
Yep,
whatever?
and
Was
that
that
was
them?
not received well.
And
That's why they went back to Saints Row.
so so here's my theory, right? I think the backlash is because you have three different kinds of fans. You have the fans that want the old school gritty first Saints Row, just gangs, like a GTA ripoff. There's people that want Saints Row goofy town, like the fourth and the third, and then you have people that just are sour from Agents of Mayhem and they don't want anything to do with Saints Row anymore.
Man,
I don't know, and
I don't think anyone is sour about Agents of Mayhem because nobody played Agents of Mayhem.
I mean, come on. I didn't. I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying I did. It sounded like I was gonna defend it. I'm not defending this game because I've never played it and I never would because it doesn't. It looks ass.
Man, I didn't
But
even know what Age of Mayhem was until you guys said it.
Yeah, I honestly don't think anyone played that game. Like that game bombed hard.
yes, yes, it did. Um, but yeah, man, I don't understand the backlash. It's surprising. It was unexpected. I'm honestly looking forward to seeing gameplay from the game and no, really from the game. Seeing gameplay and seeing what they have in store for us. See if we can smack some more people with dildos and maybe rob a few banks. I don't know, maybe you can do both at the same time. You
So
can smack the bank clerk.
what games were standouts for you guys?
100% Marvel Midnight Suns or whatever it was called.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
The
that's
Marvel
the name.
game that was announced.
Yeah, that's the title of the Twilight book,
Yeah,
right? Midnight
yeah,
Sun.
sure. Um, I don't think it
No,
is,
it
but
is with Edward's perspective. I think that's the name of a book from
I don't
Twilight.
know. I don't know, but yeah, that Marvel game, man. That rumored XCOM X Marvel game that's been kind of going around online for a little bit, and then now got officially announced, and they're doing a gameplay presentation September 1st. So this Wednesday coming up, and I think it has like a March 2022 release window,
yeah.
which is nice. It's cool, man. That trailer is badass. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. Not really a full-on XCOM guy or really kind of top-down strategy sort of kind of thing, but if it has to do with Marvel, I'm down for it, man. It's from what it looks, the aesthetic and like what they're planning here with the different kind of characters that are going to be in it, including like Ghost Rider, obviously Captain America and Iron Man, Doctor Strange, right? I feel like this is gonna be a standout. It's cool to see like Marvel finally stretch its wings with video games and do something really interesting with its IPs and
Yeah,
heroes.
it's kind of sad that Disney didn't do the same thing with Star Wars, man. That we only got what, two Battlefronts and Fallen Order with EA, and I think that may be it. But
Yeah. Well,
that
I mean, we have Jedi Fallen Order, and that's the best thing to come out of it, really.
yeah,
Mm.
but like then again, you think about like how long EA had the IP, and they only put out those three games. I'm sure they had like mobile games as well, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like if you have the Star Wars IP, like you should be like milking that cow dry. Pause, but like you should be taking full advantage of that, man.
You gotta milk that
100%,
thing
yeah.
that you gotta milk the thing that Luke drinks milk from, and
Oh
Yeah,
gosh, no, that was just
like
disturbing to watch.
yeah,
Jedi.
exactly. But yeah. I mean,
Honestly,
like
I think
as
they're milking just not video games. They're milking like franchises and series, like movies and TV shows. Like
yeah,
we
well,
get like
yeah,
a Star Wars announcement of a TV for Disney Plus
yeah,
every
for
like
sure.
2 weeks.
But
Video
yeah, I
games.
mean, it totally makes sense, that Marvel would, do this because like, yeah, I think it's like it feels like it's about time, right? Like we're seeing, not
Hmm.
just the Insomniac Spider-Man games, but Avengers and Guardians and Marvel versus Capcom, that new one that came out on the Switch, and now Midnight Sun, and
Mm.
yeah, so
No, it's cool. It's cool to finally see it like after because I feel like it's been dormant for a while with like the IP and stuff like that. And I would like to get to that point where we're having like really fresh and creative Marvel games with stuff like I think from it's a PS2 game. I think it's called Marvel Nemesis or something like that. Marvel Immortals. I forgot what it was called, but it was basically just like an action fighting game and with Marvel characters, but it was all in a 3D plane environment. It was so unique and different. And of course, you have the Marvel vs. Capcom games themselves. And just again, a smorgasbord of like great Marvel games from the past times. And I'm kind of glad we're seeing like really cool different ideas with IP now, especially with the top-down strategy game. I think it's gonna be really cool.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
That was exciting. And it
Um,
looks again the aesthetic. I gotta emphasize the aesthetic of at least the art that they have and the trailer and all that.
Yeah, their
I like
costumes are
it.
fucking badass, man. They're so
It
cool.
looks really nice. There's a theme going on there, and I like it.
but
Um,
what about you, Walt? What was a standout game for you?
for for me, a standout, and there were a couple of things that I liked. The, the not the biggest, but I think one that I did not expect. Um, the Outlast Trials gameplay trailer that we got, and being an Outlast fan, not a stan, a fan. I really like the Outlast series, and for as disturbing as it is, and as much as I avoid playing it after one playthrough because it is terrifying. But I love it to death, and finally being able to go co-op and seeing how that might look and how it's gonna look, dude. I'm more hyped than ever. I am so excited. That's a franchise that as soon as I started playing I wouldn't say the first one, but I think by Whistleblower, I was already like, this, like, this was be like an amazing experience in co-op. And so much so that Outlast 2, when it came out, a friend of mine and I decided to play it simultaneously and like try and guide each other and help each other through different playthroughs as we were playing at the same time. This makes it easier because it's a like legit co-op mode. Now it doesn't seem like it's gonna be like a story like centric game like the other three have been. It seems more of a like literally trials, like just little tests that you have to do in ways that you have to escape the torture or whatever it is that they're gonna throw at you. But dude, honestly, I don't know if it's a masochist thing, but I would take any reason to play Outlast other than just replaying it, because honestly, it's such a as a first time experience, it probably is like one of the most terrifying experiences you'll have in a video game. Like, honest to God.
I agree. I agree.
And I think it's further solidified by the fact that you do not, under any circumstance, have a way to fight back. Nothing. And that is horrifying. The fact that you have to rely on batteries, on legit charge, and you have to time it well. You have to know when to use your night vision and when to use your audio cues, like the audio detector, and do it. Which the audio thing I think was introduced in the latest Outlast 2. Dude, it is bananas. It is a bananas franchise. And Jay, if you haven't played Outlast, I would encourage you to try it out. Honestly, if this Outlast Trials, I think it'll be more than 2 players. So if that's the case, DualShock Sense game night, we have to play that Outlast Trials here. Like, we have to get scared together. We just have to. It's a bonding experience, y'all. Okay, it's a bonding experience. But yeah, man, that's what stood out to me. The most, I don't know, maybe it was the most surprised I was. But yeah, Outlast Trials, man. And just gameplay. We saw actual gameplay. That's crazy. I didn't expect that until like maybe next year.
Nice. Yeah, for me, probably like there's a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's that one game like Cult of the Lambs or something along those lines that looked really interesting, art wise. But Dokev, did you guys see this game?
No, I did not actually. Let me
What's
look it
that
up.
name again? By me?
Dokev.
Dokev?
Yeah. Watch the trailer, man, because it's probably the most bonkers, terrifying thing that I've ever seen. It's like a real, like pseudo realistic Pokemon.
Oh, stop it, Jay! This is the kiddie game that I was looking at before. Oh my gosh!
Can you pronounce? How do you write that?
Dokev, Dokev,
Yeah.
Dokev.
No,
Oh, Dokev.
it looks pretty insane, man.
Bro, what is this?
Yeah, man,
man.
watch it, man. That was the start of the
Literally
show
the
right
first
there.
video I get. What the hell is Dokev? First one I get.
It's the start of the show right there, man.
I mean, the animations are tight, right? And it looks like a movie. But man, you playing with Roblox right now?
Hey, man, that ain't no Roblox. Hey, man, that's some serious shit right there.
Why
You
does
about
this
this,
look so
man? You
good?
about this?
Hey,
Why
man.
You about
does,
this?
like-
I didn't say I'm going to spend harder cash on that, man. But
I don't know. I can see you playing this though. You're playing a lot of hours into this one.
Bro, look at that. Bro, there's a bear with boxing gloves.
I'm not even saying that I would sail the high seas. I'm just saying it looks interesting, man. It looks
Bro,
interesting.
You can capture a whole possum. That's a whole anteater, I think. Golly.
Yeah, man.
Okay, see, I turned my brain off when I started listening to the music. I didn't see the actual like trailer, but like,
Oh man.
Bro, there's a bear
No,
with
this-
boxing gloves.
yeah, this actually looks kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks,
Okay.
Bro, what is this?
Okay. See?
Damn.
That shit looks pretty good.
Yo, why don't they
Yeah,
go
don't-
so hard on the moves?
Don't, hey man, don't slander me. I know what I'm talking about.
Man,
Damn, Jay. All right, maybe Giant
Um,
Dogma is good.
yeah,
you
man.
you ruin with the anteater? Is that what you doing now?
Yes,
Ooh,
sir.
look at that ant eater.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm gonna be on
Uh,
your ass at this flash, bro.
Why, man? I have no
Bro.
investment in this game, man.
Nah, you
I
already
didn't buy
mentioned that you
Yeah.
stand. You a Dokkan stand
I
right
didn't
now.
buy stock in this game, man. Come on now. Um, but yeah, man, that was definitely caught my eye. Um, so
Yeah, it looks
should we?
nice. Looks nice.
Yeah. They showed off Call of Duty Vanguard. Are you guys interested at all in that?
I'm not even
Uh,
gonna answer.
what is so bad?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I'm not even gonna
Yeah, because
answer.
he doesn't really see them as real games, and he
yeah. Oh
Shut
man.
up. Not real game. I retracted that and said that they're more of a.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's it. There it is.
Jeez.
That's appropriate.
I
Okay,
will
guys.
say that
my
the
fiance just gave me the weirdest look ever.
no, I bet, I bet.
I appreciate
I
it.
will say that the like environment wise, the game looks really cool. Like I love,
Look, man.
I'm just a big fan of like Europe in general. So I really
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that Russian aesthetic and the buildings and
Hey,
whatnot.
I'm gotta be frank. I'm gonna be honest. As much as I ranted last week for the with people acting how they act around this game and my sentiments that was repressed for a while, the game for a while now. The environments, the maps, like all fantastic, great design, like all really great visually. And this one, it just exceeds past ones, and it looks even better. Like honestly, I don't know about gameplay. I know there's a demo. Uh, is anyone here gonna try it?
No, not really for me. For me, if I'm
Uh,
gonna get back into a military shooter, I need something a little more oomph to the vibe there.
Probably gonna go with
Battlefield looks like
Battlefield.
it'll be a little more like a
Yeah,
little more my style at this
same,
point. If I'm again to
same.
military shooter,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my
and
mentality for a
nothing
while.
against Call of Duty either. Like if you like Call of Duty, that's you. Just for
Yeah,
me, I'm
yeah, for sure. Go
looking for
for
something
it.
a little more out of it. Really.
Yeah, a bit more innovative. Now, when it comes to the Call of Duty just franchise in general, it like we
Oh
mentioned
no, man,
last time.
we can't have this again, man.
No. Listen. You're gonna like this, or not. I don't know you. But when it comes to
I don't
the
know.
Call of Duty franchise, hey
That's a
man,
lie. You do
they
know
do.
me.
Yeah, I do. They're masters at what they do, and they create great arcade games. Yeah, for sure. And this one, it looks good. It's just not for me anymore, man. I grew up out of that.
No, that's fair.
It
That's
looks
fair.
good. Great for. I'm excited. Here's the thing: if you're a Call of Duty fan, if you're growing up,
Oh
because for me,
man.
Call of Duty was great back when I was younger. If you're growing up now, if you're like 12, 13, you're not playing Pokemon because let's be fair, Pokemon old people, Call of Duty younger people. And honestly, this is the best time to be a Call of Duty fan because these are the best Call of Duties you'll get, like quality wise. Um, so hope everyone enjoys them. Whoever plays them. Uh, but yeah, man,
Yeah.
looks good.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, like again, like I've said this on the podcast before, but I haven't played a Call of Duty game since Black Ops One, and I think that came out in 2010. That's not changing with this one. So, but yeah, it does look gorgeous. Laura Bailey is the protagonist, which is always a thumbs up for me. Um, but
God
um,
bless her.
but yeah,
God bless her.
that is the extent of my thoughts on Call of Duty. Um,
Yes, sir.
so yeah, so let's move on to sort of some other big news that we got from the show, which was some pretty major release dates for both Halo Infinite and Horizon Forbidden West. Uh,
Horizon.
Macho, do you feel is it so like I think you're more like you're gonna play Infinite, but like on top of like just like the really strange news that we've been getting, did you also find it really weird that like we saw multiplayer, well not even multiplayer gameplay, but like a CGI trailer, but like multiplayer related stuff yet again, and not anything campaign wise? During this Gamescom showcase for Halo.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I get they want to play really close to the chest on this one because of what happened last year, but we're less than 4 months from the release of the game
Yeah.
because of the December 8th announcement, and they haven't shown an ounce of single player campaign, whether it be no one knows how it's exactly gonna work out.
Yeah.
People just keep saying it's the most ambitious Halo. It's bigger. It might be open world. No one knows how this game is actually going to play out, which is the problem. You know, it's. I feel like it's a valid criticism when you're questioning whether someone should actually spend $60 on the game when they haven't even shown gameplay from the single player. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a Final Fantasy fan, but you're not going to catch me paying $60-$70 for a single player Final Fantasy game that hasn't shown gameplay from the main campaign.
Yeah.
Hey man, Strangers of Paradise looks good and it got gameplay. I know what you mean.
Well, you guys actually got to
Man,
play
what
Strangers
what
of
game?
Paradise, though.
What's that? What game? What's that? Huh? What? I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what are you talking about. In any case, just yeah, it's so weird, man. And Steam actually lists the main campaign for Halo as DLC.
Really?
Yeah. Because it splits it up. The way it lists it, it has the multiplayer as one like thing you could download because it's free to play. And then it has a Halo campaign, but it actually lists the campaign as DLC, which is hilarious
Yeah.
considering all the slander Miles Morales got. But you know that's neither here nor there.
Jesus.
But in any case, yeah, it's just the thing is, man, I wasn't even gonna play the single player for Halo Infinite really because I haven't played the rest of the games. So I want to get caught up and then play that. But even then, dude, the news on the multiplayer is just completely turning me
Yeah.
off.
Can you explain that a little bit? Because I saw that floating around a little bit, and yeah, what's going on with that? The XP stuff?
Right. So in any regular multiplayer shooter, right, you gain experience by playing matches and winning those matches. You get more points and all that stuff, right? Kind of like the regular basic progression. You hop in, you hop out, you get some levels, you're good, right?
Right.
Halo Infinite is taking the approach of a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a Genshin Impact, like a games as a service, which it is. It's a games as a service, so you expect to kind of act like that. Not really not gotcha. This is more of just like they're adding it so that they're adding the mechanic where daily and weekly, probably monthly challenges are going to be the way you actually level up instead of just playing matches.
So like
Destiny does that.
so essentially
But
it's gonna
after
be
a certain point.
like hey, kill 25 grunts with a grenade, you know until like Thursday or something like that. So like that kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is, like when it comes like with these challenges, that they could be anywhere from ridiculous to beneficial, right? Like to kill, like get 5 headshots in a match. That obviously increase like your skill of playing the game because you're going to be sharpening your skills. But the other ones where it's like I don't know, like teabag 5 or 10 players in a match or something like that. Obviously, if you're going out of your way to do something like that, then you're going to you're gonna get killed, or you're just gonna lose the match, and not intentionally, but just for not be really like a team player, or the case would be whatever match you're playing. So it's stuff like that that's like it's not cool, man. Like I don't like that. I don't like that at all because those challenges should be there to be an addition to what you're already doing.
To incentivize you to level up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna compare it to Final Fantasy 14 because this is the most perfect example of a game that can take up so much of your time, but it will tell you to not do that because you have a challenge log where you can go through where you get extra experience points, but it's not necessary. It's only for leveling up. You don't have to do it, and the game doesn't push you to do it. You drop in and drop out whenever you want, however you want to do it in Final Fantasy 14. In Halo Infinite, the only way to level up as of right now is to actually get into these challenge logs and to level up your character. But I guess that ties into like the battle pass as well, and how that's basically a not expiring battle pass and stuff like that. I'm not really sure how battle passes work because I never really got into like Fortnite or anything like that, so I'm not super versed in all that. But to the case of the point is that the progression is tied to challenges, daily and weekly challenges. And any game that forces me to, or at least gives me the extra incentive, I guess, to log in every day, I don't like that. Because then I'm gonna feel like I have to play, and when I feel like I have to play is when I really don't want to play, and then I'm gonna be turned off, which is why I don't play Genshin Impact anymore.
Yeah.
I love it how you phrased it. That's such a beautiful balance that few games usually strike, and it's the fact of separating the, oh, you should play it, but take your time, or contrary to, if you don't play, bro, you're getting left behind.
Exactly. Like you left behind. Like I would love to go back to Genshin Impact and play as Aloy, right? Who's gonna be a featured character in that game. But I'm just frightened of the moment I open up my screen, I get a bunch of like freaking items, and there's like this whole backlog of story that I possibly like. I don't even want to deal with that.
Yep.
On top of that, there's a daily. On top of that, there's a daily log that I should probably do too for the next couple of hours. Like I'm good, man. I'm good, and that's why I don't like for Halo Infinite. I was really hoping that wasn't the case for its multiplayer. I don't know if you can even change it because the game's going to be releasing in a couple months. So, to me, doing that, it really seems like this game's like they're just going to send it out there even after a year delay, which is crazy to me.
Hey man,
Yeah.
good that DLC story.
Like to me, the December 8th release date was kind of surprising because it was way later than I was anticipating.
I said it was going to be a December release.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, in the last podcast when we were saying that Call of Duty was a November game, Battlefield's October. I said Halo Infinite was going to be December.
Man,
because I missed that window of Call of Duty.
Man, I ain't listening to that shit. But no, because like it does feel like it really does feel like last minute, man. It almost like cyberpunk-ish, right? Like how that game was like delayed over and over and over again, and then it was like, okay, December, like that is it. Like you guys have to get it out by this year.
Oh yeah, didn't Cyberpunk has some? Didn't it conceal some gameplay before it's released too?
Man. I don't want to make that. I don't want to make that comparison. Look. I still think. Look, I still think Halo's gonna do fine. I'm just making the point that it is a little odd that like, we just have. There was an Xbox showcase and we didn't see anything from the campaign, and then the next day was Gamescom and they choose to show a CGI multiplayer related trailer. It's just a little weird to me.
I'll just tell you right now, they got some balls showing off an exclusive limited edition console and a controller, but not show you damn what Master Chief's gonna be doing, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
man, if another game pulled this off, they wouldn't pull it off because this only works because it's Halo. Only reason it works.
Yeah, I'll give it his credit.
like I don't know, man. Like I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. It's just a little weird because like we like I feel like people have seen enough of the multiplayer, man. We had a tech test for it, right? Like we've seen enough of the multiplayer. The campaign is what people are like craving to see, or what they're like really interested in.
Then.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just a little odd. I know they said that they have their own plans as to when they want to talk about campaign and whatnot, but I don't know, because it like even back in E3, right? Like we got like a short campaign related thing with that new AI girl that I don't know her name or whatever, but like it was like a really quick like story trailer, and like that's the last time that we've really seen anything campaign wise. It just boggles my mind. This game was announced in 2018, and campaign wise we've seen like maybe like 3 trailers if I'm being generous. So,
which is probably the one thing that most people are looking forward to, which is kind of weird too.
Not even 3. It's been 4 years. This thing was announced in 2018. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird to me. But again, like I said, I still think the game's gonna be fine. Again,
I hope so.
it's just weird.
I hope so.
Man,
Man,
I
that, I
hope
mean
every
that.
game turns out fine. I hope every
Man,
game
that's
turns out
man. After all the capping I'm seeing, I hope this game better do great. like
Oh man.
cause again, it's not like three.
Wait.
It's not like 343 is not under hot fire already. You know what I mean?
Macho,
It's like
did you especially with Kid Smooth, right?
yeah, this man turned a new leaf, man. I don't know what's going on. I had to double take on my timeline and be like, "Is that you?
Man,
Is that you?
I've
Is
never
that you,
seen
Smooth?"
that. I've never seen that before from the man.
That's wow. I think he took Paris Lily's advice over there, man. To write him in the
man.
DMs. Wild
Crazy.
stuff.
But yeah, man. So aside from that, we also got a release date for Horizon Forbidden West coming out February 18th, 2022.
Yeah, that's where I eat crow. That's where I eat crow.
Yep. What are you eating crow specifically on? You thought it was
Because
coming out?
I was very adamant about it being a 2021 game. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
think,
very
yeah.
A
adamant
lot of
about
people
that.
were, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I think I was too.
Too much faith.
Yeah.
We had the right amount of faith. Well, it's a thing called
We don't-
pandemic that's just going on.
Nah, faith. We don't got that here, us gamers. We got. we got gamer free.
So okay, so actually, interestingly enough, what Macho, are you still believing that we're getting a PS5 showcase? Now
No,
that
not anymore.
right now that Horizon's release date is out there, right?
Nah, to be really frank with you, I forgot that Gamescom was even a thing. To be honest, so once I saw that, and I was like, oh man, they could probably do Horizon there.
Yeah,
They could probably do Kina. They could probably do all that stuff there.
yeah. I mean,
But they ended up doing
Sifu,
Horizon,
and Jet the Far Shore both got new trailers, and Jet got a release date at Gamescom,
Yes, it did.
which
Yes,
are
it
two
did.
PlayStation games. So, like, like literally, if there is a PS5 event, man, this thing's gonna be slim as hell. So,
No, that's enough. The thing is because they also built up the last half of the year.
yeah,
Like they actually have a number of releases that are starting to come out, like Jet the Far Shore, Fist is coming out September, Tales of Arise. Well, it's a multi-platform game. It definitely has its associations with PlayStation. October or like you got also Deathloop. So we got a bunch of games coming for the fall for that's
Yeah.
PlayStation oriented.
Yeah, man. And Bloodborne, right?
Man, you hope so.
so,
You would hope so.
to that note, man, Horizon coming out in February. This game is adding to an already stacked 2022. But do you guys think that's a good time frame for Horizon to come out in? Because there's a lot of things coming out in February. But should
Valentine's Day.
still do really good.
I think.
No, yeah, I think it's a great date. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's falling after Elden Ring. So people have their Elden Ring for 3 weeks and then probably jump to Horizon. And it'll be a new flavor kind of open world too, which is nice. So this game has a lot of hype around it, and I'm not worried about its release at all or when it's releasing. I feel like it's gonna do great either way. But yeah, February, I'm down for it.
And then like I saw this like I was watching a podcast and someone saying something along the lines of like hey, like should the whole fact about consoles being scarce and whatever for Horizon, like is that going to be a problem for the game? And I'm like first of all, like now it's being pushed into 2022. You would have to imagine that there's only like over 10 million consoles in people's homes like right now. So you imagine by February that's that number is definitely going to be up. There's going to be a lot more consoles out in the wild. But just not even like excluding PS5, the best thing about this is that you also have access to the PS4 base as well. So like I think this game is going to do well, like regardless, that since it has access to both of those user bases.
It's multi-generational, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that'll be an issue. Honestly, I'm anticipating 2022 to stabilize at least a fragment of the PS5 production and people being able to actually like grasp it more easily. Not saying that there are over 10 million PS5s in the wild. Not saying all of them. Not all of them are in the hands of the crooked, but a majority are in the good people's hands. Um, Unfortunately, uh, scalpers will still be a thing. They still are a thing, but this won't hurt it. And honestly, February that does it. It's already starting 2022 in the strongest of ways. Now that it would have already started with Elden Ring, so
Yeah,
it'll be just
right off the bat.
the first two big bangers of the year, unless we get a confirmed date for another game. Like maybe an entity that has defeated many deities and now he's out. He has a son. I don't know. Maybe we get an announcement for that. Well,
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm just wondering what the pricing of this game is going to be, honestly, because
But
it's so unpredictable what PlayStation does with its pricing because it can do its route with Miles Morales, right, where it had like the same pricing. Did it have the same pricing overall on PS4 and PS5?
no, it was like $10 more on PS5.
PS5. No.
Okay, and yeah,
So
they'll probably do the same
yeah,
thing
they'll
with
do
Horizon Forbidden West
they'll
then.
do the same thing.
But
Yeah,
you did have was the performance thing on both things, or where you could switch between performance mode and fidelity mode on both consoles?
Yeah,
probably
you could
not.
do that on PS4.
You could on PS4.
Could you?
Yeah, switch between fidelity mode and graphics. I'm pretty sure you can. I remember doing it.
Because my big thing would be that if it's going to be we've talked about this in the podcast where if there's going to be a price difference, make it obvious why. Uh, you know, give me a feature on PS5 that PS4 doesn't, and that actually makes the extra $10, you know, uh, make sense. Or rather, making games for different consoles. I get it, the production is different, and the whole process may vary, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's slim pickings for sure when it comes to that upgrades or
Absolutely.
the upgrades of PS5 because in the Ghost of Tsushima, it's very slim pickings there. Because
Hmm.
for me, I love the dual sense feature that definitely adds to my experience. That's the reason why I'm okay with the $10 upgrade if
Hmm.
that's what they're charging for. But for people that are into like visual quality and stuff like that,
Yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima doesn't really offer much beyond what the PS4 back and pack can do.
yeah, yeah. Forbidden West should definitely have that very, very stark difference of, your 1080 non-native 4K versus your actually 60 FPS 4K on PS5.
Well,
Um,
I just want difference in the weapons. That's what makes the difference for me.
and the
Like
weapons, yeah,
yeah, because Ratchet and Clank, that's one of the grand appeals of that game is like how different each weapon feels and what it does to the controller,
and
and
the
it's
adaptive
great.
triggers. Yeah, that makes sense. That I mean, honestly, I didn't think about that because for me, that feels like such a key thing that like just imagine like wielding Aloy's bow and like you feel it in the adaptive triggers. You
But
know.
not even her bow, just like the slingshot she has or the
Yeah,
trip
she's getting more stuff this
casters.
time around. Yeah,
Yeah, just like those tools themselves and like how they can feel different or how it could add to like the experience when you're fighting one of these mechs. Like
absolutely.
it's yeah, that's something like I'm
When
highly
you're
anticipating.
riding, when you're riding a mount, if there are different mounts,
Yep.
that'd be tight. Yeah. Yeah. If there's a price difference, uh, justify it.
Oh, there definitely will be. Definitely will be. Um,
It definitely will.
but yeah, man, I'm excited for the game, and I mean, look, like PlayStation's 2022 is looking pretty strong with God of War, GT, and Horizon.
Oh
Plus
yes.
whatever other surprises they may have along the
Final
way.
Fantasy 16, baby.
Yeah, man,
Hey, bro, I
possibly.
hope we get more on that. I
Shit,
hope
man.
we get more on that soon.
22,
I
2022. Good lord.
Dude, 22 is like, honestly, I hope it's the redemption arc that this anime needs because 2020 was not good, and all the way through now, it's been pretty, it's been good. For me personally, it's been good. I have had because I haven't only touched on new games, and I rate my years depending on what games I've tried. And honestly, I can't say the same for everyone because this year I've tried both very old games and literally just like new releases. So
Shit, like I know a lot of people are down on 2021, and like
yeah,
yeah, like obviously like since Ratchet, well, probably since like July, like I've been in a low period, like myself for sure. But like 2021 has been for me, like aside from the low period that I'm currently in, it's been like a really great year. Like this is the year that I discovered, Mass Effect and burned like 190 hours into those games. Playing Hitman 3 for like 120 hours. I played Resident Evil 2 and 3 for the first time.
you're a real
Returnal,
gamer.
Ratchet, like so many games that
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed this year. So
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, yeah. It's like looking back on like the games that I played like this year has been it's been a fun year, man. Seriously, like Resident Evil
Absolutely.
Village, Ratchet and Clank stuff, kind of exploring Assassin's Creed, seeing where that goes with. But the one game to surprise me with the entire year that I did not expect was a co-op game, and I have to thank Joseph Ferris on that one, man.
yeah.
The man's doing God's work in this industry,
Anthem, right?
keeping those games alive.
It was Anthem.
It was Anthem.
No, not that
Exactly.
one.
No, yeah. Honestly, man, and yeah, my big the one game what game like caught me off guard this year? Honestly, not really caught off guard, but I do agree that this year the games that I have played I've thoroughly enjoyed because I'm not forcing myself to play games just for the sake of it being a new game. I used to do that a lot, where it was just like, oh, it's a new game, let me try it, and I wouldn't do research, and I would just play it because it's a game.
Oh,
But
you
now
know,
it's like,
what else I forgot to mention that a game that I discovered this year, Dreams. Got to play that this year too.
Oh yeah, how
And
was
all,
that, Jay? How far did you get in the campaign of that game?
Listen. Some things came up, and
Uh-huh.
I'll get back to it later, man. I'll get back to it later.
Uh-huh. Oh right. You're playing Dragon's Dogma. Come on, right. Oh, that's right. Oh shit, you're right. Wait, so
dude,
did you drop Dreams? You dropped Dreams? So you're not
Listen,
creating anything?
It's on hold, man. It's on hold. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
Yeah,
Jay is
yeah.
the king of games with the D's because Dragon's
Hey,
Dogma,
pause, man.
Dreams, and then you got
Yeah.
Pause.
Destruction.
Yeah, he's about to get another D. He's
Oh,
really another D too, with all the dust is collected on Dreams
oh
too. Yeah.
man.
Oh
But
shit.
but wait a second.
Hey man,
Wait a
and,
second.
and Macho, it's Destruction All Stars, man.
I'm
Gotta
gonna
do
side
something to get up that
Oh.
stuff.
I'm gonna sidestep this slander really quick, and say that oh yeah, Destruction All Stars came out this year, man. I totally forgot about that. That's crazy. And
Yeah,
then I actually
Jay's
enjoyed it, man.
Yeah,
Jay,
man.
Jay had the year of D's, and this is
Pause,
2021.
man.
Damn.
But I missed the most important D of all, and that was Lady Dimitrescu, man. The most important
Hey,
one,
man, come
and I missed
on.
it. I
What
missed
do
it.
you,
Man.
yeah, man. You gotta try that D, man.
Pause, man. God damn.
Yeah, that's the only D you need, bro. That's the
Oh
only D you
man.
need.
Let's move on,
If it
man.
ain't the D, it ain't for me, right, Jay?
Oh man. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. What's funny? What's funny is that I played a lot of Dying Light this year too, man. And I'm looking forward to Dying Light too.
Hey,
So
man.
All
What,
right.
what,
When we round out our games that we beat this year, you gotta list them all in alphabetical order, right?
yeah.
who's the protagonist in Infamous Second Son?
I didn't really play that this year.
Daryl. I don't know.
Delson.
Delson. Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Oh.
man, Jay, what's up with all these D's, man?
All right,
Stop it.
man. All right, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Yeah.
All right. So, what? Oh yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Naughty Dog's standalone multiplayer game, man. They put out some job listings yesterday. for a bunch of
Yeah,
open
go
positions
apply.
at the studio, and they I think for the first time confirmed that yeah they are working on a standalone multiplayer project, which we have known for a while now to basically be factions. Um, so yeah, man, this is pretty cool, man. So I think kind of like to me the biggest thing is that like yeah this seemingly isn't just going to be like an add-on, sort of like update to The Last of Us Part 2. Like this is going to be its own thing. So yeah, they are 100% going to be charging this as if it's going to be a game or whatnot. So yeah, what was your guys' thoughts on seeing this finally confirmed?
It was nice seeing a confirmation without it being a confirmation.
True.
Uh, it was just, I think it was like that one tweet from the guys that was at Naughty Dog saying that we're working on our standalone multiplayer game, our first one.
Yeah.
I mean, god damn, it's about time, man. I don't know I don't know what kind of development this game went through to turn to his own standalone thing, but either way, I'm excited for Factions too, man. It's the first game's multiplayer is just so good and it's a lot of fun. And from what I'm playing on The Last of Us Part Two, the gameplay is just it's really good. So
Yeah.
looking forward to what they're dishing out. I hope it's just more new maps than just reskins of older ones.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And this, if this is being its own thing, that gives me so much hope because I agree. Factions back in the first Last of Us, it felt so ambitious with what it was doing that honestly, it being its own thing, how much further can they take it? Like how in depth is it gonna be? How big are the maps gonna be, or how intricate are they gonna be? Like this just makes me more excited of what's about to be thrown our way when it comes to factions. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
one of the few like multiplayer experiences that I thoroughly enjoyed, like very much. Like where I got bummed where to the point where when I when I my PS3 stopped working, and I didn't have the remaster for Last of Us, I was like legit, like I felt down, like I felt really sad because it was like one of the few multiplayer games that I actually like enjoyed for the longest time. But yeah, man, I I don't want to set expectations because we know what those do, but I'm excited.
This man is like seriously distraught with Cyberpunk.
Hey, man, Cyberpunk and many others, like just expectations. They kill good games.
Yeah.
They kill good games.
Yeah, man. I've never played the original Factions, but I did play Uncharted 4's multiplayer, and I spent a lot of time in that multiplayer. So, yeah, I know Naughty Dog can make a good multiplayer game. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Sir.
excited to see that finally revealed. So, I guess my next question is: do you guys think that this gets teased or revealed, possibly on Outbreak Day this year, or we're gonna wait? We're gonna have to wait until 2022 to see it.
I hope Outbreak Day. I That's September 26th, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, so if yeah, it'd be nice to get like a nice like reveal trailer and then we'll have more in 2022 kind of thing. I think that's plausible. Because The Last of Us 2 released like what, last year? 2020, the middle of July or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, man, it's about time they show that Factions too because I think that's highly anticipated.
yeah, for sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
So I'll be down for 2022 release, and that's adding to PlayStation's lineup 2022. Man, they got a rock solid year.
Definitely.
That's the year my wallet cries a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm definitely so obviously we know the Horizon, like Gorilla and Santa Monica and Polyphony will show up in 2022. But I think the most exciting thing to me is like what other things specifically I guess like XDev, like what kind of partnerships have they done? What kind of like third party games will we see out of them? Um, yeah, I'm really excited for the stuff that we don't know. That's why I'm like I'm totally like okay or like content with the fact that we're not. Why I don't think we're gonna have a showcase this year is because like I don't know, just the prospect that they're keeping all these things under the tuck is like kind of exciting, right? Because it feels like the shoe's like on the other foot, where like this time Xbox has laid out their roadmap. Like we know what they're doing for like the next 2022, 2023 for like the foreseeable future, and like really aside from Horizon, God of War, GT, like I feel like it's just like purely like foggy from there, if that makes sense. And I don't know, that kind of ambiguity is kind of exciting because like I feel like we haven't really been there for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
And with the 25 IPs being worked on,
Yeah,
it's even more exciting.
yeah, that's really all that we know. So yeah, I'm definitely pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Macho, is there anything else that we need to cover before we get out of here?
No, I think those were kind of just the big topics, really. Unless you guys had something.
Make sure that we know, because last time, and I know if it was changed or not, I don't remember, but I remember the title of the last podcast did include the Wukong thing, and we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah.
I I didn't watch it, so
Um,
Oh, wait, what about
I-
Elden Ring? Elden Ring, I think that's one that,
yeah,
that
go
came through.
go ahead and take the helm on that because I haven't read any of the stuff that came out from the preview or watched anything about it.
yeah, and what was it, Macho?
Sure. So I'll try to recall a little bit of like what the Game Informer article that I read went through because it did have a lot of details regarding it was basically just kind of like a hands-off preview for media.
Yeah.
So they just saw like 15 minutes of gameplay or something like that. But the gist of it was that it's gonna have your Dark Souls, Demon Souls, like elements to it. So you're gonna have like your bonfires, except this one is gonna be a little more.
Wait, hold
space-
hold up. It's got Demon Souls in it. You gonna finish it, Macho?
Nah, nah, absolutely not. Was Demon what? What you said, Jay? I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said. But yeah, basically it's gonna have like its own spin on open world stuff. So you're gonna be able to fast travel. You're gonna use your horse to go to these jumping pads. I'll just teleport you up vertically to off cliffs and stuff like that. And I think one of the details I was saying in the Game Informer article was that you're going to get like nuggets information from NPCs or even like little artifacts that can lead you, that can open up areas to other places in the world, and then that's where you can engage in boss fights and stuff like that, or optional boss fights rather. You're actually able to team up with two other people, so it's a 3-player co-op experience. So that's definitely great for a DualShock Sense game night. To me, it's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. And what was the other detail that's escaping me right now? I literally had it tip of my tongue. Man, I can't remember. But basically, so what IGN actually had for it was that there's like apparently this new summoning mechanic. People were worried that it was going to make the game easier, and apparently it's not. So I guess it's a good thing for people that were looking about that. And the joke that was kind of flying around on Twitter was that the in-game text is actually being written by Miyazaki and not by George R. R. Martin. So a lot of people were joking around like, oh, this is the reason why the game's actually coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's cool that this game is going to be more ambitious in terms of like how you explore the world and how you interact with it, and just uncovering the lore. So it's definitely has its roots in like, it's going to have its roots as far as like a Dark Souls like game, but it's going to have its own spin with having like a little bit more stealth mechanics from Sekiro. Obviously, we've seen the combat before; it's a little more action heavy, so like maybe more like Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro. And then having like its open world spin to it. I don't think it's gonna have like, question marks on the map on where you need to go. That's where the player discovery nature of it comes in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, Elden Ring, it's looking nice. They're very confident for January 21st, I think it was. They're confident in their release date, so that makes me happy. And I guess we're gonna get more footage, in the coming months. So From
Yeah.
what we're seeing on here, it's shaping up to be something very interesting and fun, and I'm very excited to see the different kind of builds you're able to do because they did touch on like the variety of weapons and allocating weapon skills and stuff like that. I don't remember to a T because it was pretty intricate. It was pretty early in the morning when I read it, but other than that, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I know that there's a. I didn't watch the whole video, but Vatipedia, he's a huge Dark Souls YouTuber. Just Souls in general, Bloodborne, Sekiro, just FromSoft, and he spoke about how he's seen footage to Elden Ring, but he can't disclose what he saw. He like
Of
talked about
course.
it. But
It's,
I mean, it makes
that's
sense.
that's big. That's big wonton energy right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Is
got
that
off
the
the
guy
phone with
that
you know who.
yeah, is that the okay? Yeah, that's the guy y'all roast. I was gonna figure like yeah. But yeah, man. Honestly, I don't know what. This is the only game that like I don't even have expectations. I'm seeing it as just another FromSoft game, which is just a quality game that I'm gonna play, and it'll just be another one of to talk about.
Yeah,
It,
yeah. No, I agree because like I didn't even want to read the previews, but I did just kind of just know myself before we went to the podcast, and it's one of those games like I don't need to know. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget all this information by the time Jerry comes around, and I'm gonna be surprised at the way because it's a game I know I'm gonna play, and I want to be surprised about like I was with Sekiro and Bloodborne and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah.
yes, out of Gamescom, this is the one thing I wanted really. I wanted some more Elden Ring news and to get Bloodborne PS5 update, bud. We'll see about that.
We will we get that 60 FPS 4K beauty of a Bloodborne?
Man, well, we're gonna get the next Game of Thrones book before we get a Bloodborne update.
Damn.
Yeah, they ain't doing that. I mean, speaking of which, Horizon got an update too. I know a lot of
Yeah, you
people.
notice how it came out right when they were saying the release date,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that shit was planned, man. That shit
Oh,
was planned.
yeah, for sure.
That shit was absolutely planned. I get it because of like a marketing reasons. Like, oh wait, let's do the release date, and then we'll say like, hey, here's a 60 frames per second. Go download
Yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn.
it's smart.
Go play it. But like, this was definitely like the seesaw moment of like, we're kind of delaying the game, but wait, here's 60 frames per second. You know, it's damage control. So,
I mean,
but
it's smart though.
no, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You can't knock it. But I'm just like, oh man, y'all had that in the tuck for a little bit.
Yeah.
Y'all kept that in the hold for release folder for a little bit.
Wow, do we release it now? Yes. All right. 60 FPS.
Press the red button.
Press the red button. We have to delay.
But,
That's what Cyberpunk missed. That Cyberpunk did not have a red button. They were just like, just release it. Just release it.
man,
We'll say we didn't have any footage for consoles and that they had to review it based on footage already. You know what? Just I don't care. that was the Cyberpunk meeting.
yeah, I was actually watching this guy's review on 2077, and man, that game is rough. That game is so rough.
Yep.
Um,
Let me tell it was so rough that right now the driving mechanics do not feel at all how they felt in the beginning of just how much they've had to revamp just like actual core mechanics of the game.
yeah.
Man, they better not pull that shit off of Witcher 4. I'll just say that.
Bro,
Man,
we
I
will
mean,
riot.
did you guys see that? Apparently they're starting early development on Witcher 4.
I'm sure.
There was like
Sure.
a job listing that said that they were looking for someone with experience with like camera work, specifically with third person games, something along those lines. So that people were like, oh, okay, so that means Witcher more than likely.
Good, good.
Yeah,
That'd be
well,
cool.
Let's hope they don't fuck it up, man.
Seriously, I would love a new Witcher protagonist too. That would be pretty dope.
Sir.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna go Siri or create your own Witcher, or what do you think?
I really don't want them to fuck up Siri's story. So no.
Oh, dude.
I don't think they will, man. I trust them. They made 3 good Witcher games, man. I trust them
Yeah.
with that IP.
Exactly, and that's the big thing, right? I trust them with Witcher. It's the fact that it's not the fact that they create Cyberpunk. No, it's how Cyberpunk in and of its own. It's just everything that went into it. It was the wrong moves all around. So with Witcher, I'm pretty I'm at ease. I'm at ease. I'm at ease to the point where, you know, when a king literally tells his subjects at ease, and they're like, oh, thank God. Like, I feel like that.
I am
okay.
cautiously optimistic of what they can do.
There we go. That's the beauty. Yep, that's the beauty. But yeah, Siri, honestly, I haven't read the book, so for me, they can't fuck up Siri if they make her nothing of how she was in Witcher 3. But like, that'd be tight. Like a Siri focused game, that'd be tight.
Yeah, I mean, depending which ending you got, Witcher 3, it sets it up very nicely. But I think it's gonna piss a lot of people off too, based on like which canon ending they choose.
Exactly. That's you gotta walk a fine line with how you do that.
Yeah, well,
so.
guys, we'll fuck them. Because look at Mass Effect, look at Dragon Age. These games all
And
have
they got
different endings.
and they got shit for that.
Yeah, but they're massively acclaimed, critically acclaimed games. So
Yeah, Mass
But
Effect 3.
for me,
yeah.
but
Even though it's
got
my
people
favorite.
like you, Jay, which you exactly.
It's
They
my
got people
favorite.
like you. So if you love it,
But not because of the ending.
No, but the whole game, that's the thing. The whole game on its own, like, holds up. And that's the big thing with Witcher. For me, Witcher, what made Witcher special for me wasn't so much the ending. I mean, it was the fact that you could get a different ending, like, very apparent. It was so obvious. It was so obvious throughout the story that, oh, yeah, this is going to leave a lasting impact. And that's what I think that if they do Witcher 4, I mean, when they do Witcher 4, they just need to strike that balance, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of like if they did like a spin on it where Ciri is the veteran Witcher who's had her adventures and already, and you're seeing her in the future, and now she has to go find Geralt because he's missing. I would kind of like that spin on it.
And he's just looking for Jennifer.
Yeah, I know. Right? I lost Yen. I don't know where she is.
God damn, I lost her again. Even though she's made it clear of how little she thinks of me. No, I'm kidding. I don't know this story.
But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for the podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching, whether you came through live or just came through after the fact. We always appreciate that. Leave a like, man. It helps us out a ton. Consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you guys next week, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. We're gonna get started with these outros and then get the hell out of here. Macho, why don't you start things off?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be Psychonauts 2, Greatest Attorney, and Final Fantasy 14 for the weekend. Gonna try and finish up those games before Tales of Arise hits in September 10th, man. I'm really excited for that game. We talked about it in Lens before, but man, like I'm really jazzed about what they're doing with that series now and what that game's gonna do. If I have some time too, might start up some Ys 8 Lacrimus of Dana, because I had that tucked in the backlog for a little bit now after I bought it on sale a couple months ago, and I'm interested to jump in and play it. So if I end up finishing Greatest Attorney and Psychonauts 2 within a reasonable time, I'll probably start that up soon.
Nice. Walt, what about you, man? What's going on?
Me, more of that Catherine, more of that torture. Reading some new manga that I purchased recently. Other than that, new games, not really. Fortnite here and there, having a blast with that. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect myself to be playing Fortnite at this time of the year. Or
Can I ask what skins you bought, or is that too private?
Oh,
What's
man.
up?
Can I ask what skins you bought, or is that too private?
No. I can. How many skins do you want to know?
Damn, that tells me all I need to know. Shit.
Yeah. No, I mean it's
Oh
less
man.
than 3. I mean it's like 3, but like I can tell you one of them. One of them is J Balvin, uh, which is
J
Colombian singer.
Balvin. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Do they actually still have like the collaboration skins, or is that like on a time thing?
No, so that would be a collaboration one.
Wait. Did you guys oh my god. Did you guys see
What?
the Martin Luther King shit that they were doing in Fortnite?
Hey, I mean, at
Yeah.
least someone's doing it, man. I shook my
So-
head so bad at that one. I don't know what to think
Oh.
So
of
I
that.
participated in that and I checked it out.
Oh man.
Oh, tell us about it. See
Yeah,
see
before
what's
we
that
end the
about.
podcast. So maybe first disclose. Let me disclose. I am Puerto Rican. I am not white, so I am not on the edge here when I'm talking about shit. This is who I am. I am Puerto Rican. Just so anyone knows who this is coming from. When I first heard of what they were doing with MLK, I didn't know what to think of it. I didn't know what they were gonna do. A lot of people speculated, oh, it's gonna be an MLK skin. I'm like, that makes no sense. That's incredibly. That would be incredibly awful for Epic. That would be a downfall. Second,
Oh man,
I
that beautiful man would be rolling his grave. He was a skin in Fortnite.
Jesus,
that
could you
man,
imagine?
that man
me?
does not deserve a skin here. He doesn't deserve that because that's a bad deserve. He doesn't just that. If you get a skin and if someone like that gets a skin, that is not how you do it. That's not how you.
That's
do it.
not what his legacy was
That's
born
not
up
what
to
it
be. It's not a
Yeah.
fucking Fortnite skin.
So, I saw a lot of people criticize the fact that how are they going to include such a it's a movement, it's an individual, it's a phenomenal just moment in time.
It's an icon.
It's an icon essentially, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, why are you including that in a place where people kill each other, where there's guns involved?" And all valid criticisms before knowing what the hell this was.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
Now, this event is more of a walkthrough of the events around MLK's movement and the civil rights and Black Lives and all this, and not so much like a skin or whatever. It was more of an experience. It's literally an event. So right now,
So kind of like the Discovery Tour and later Assassin's Creed games, where it's like more like a museum of.
essentially, yes. So I'm
Okay.
gonna read you the description because I'm in Fortnite right now and I can read you. So it goes like this. It's called A March Through Time. Presented by Time, explore DC 63, a reimagined Washington DC where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. Alongside Fortnite players from all over the world, listen to this defining civil rights moment. So essentially, you go in. There's different mini games you can do. Which, I'm gonna give you an example. One of the mini games is like light these 4 torches, and it's a 4-player thing. So you relay, you do your thing, and then your squad mates do the thing, and once you light all the torches, you get transported to in front of a mural where there's a phrase written or a description of an event around the civil rights movement. So one of the things that you do is you have to answer certain questions, and one of them is where did the "I Have a Dream" speech take place, and you answer it, and you have to answer all these questions, and then you get transported to an area where you see a, a bus on fire, and it talks about the riots and the protests and what happened and the repercussions. And so the way they handled it, the only thing that people can argue is the fact that when you go in, you can do all your emotes. You can do any emote. So there are emotes that are, for instance, and I'm going to give an example that would be atrocious if someone did it. There's an emote where you like put the L on your forehead and you like start dancing. If people start doing that shit in front of like the like the "I have a dream" speech, because the speech is playing the whole time. They're and in the courtyard, and you see like the actual like footage of the speech. If that happens, it's a bad image to see, because it's like, oh, players can just mock the speech.
Yeah.
When that's a person. That's the person that is doing that. It's not Epic. Epic literally like provided this area where it's a little walk through different events and different moments in history around the civil rights movement. And the "I Have a Dream" speech is like in the center of it, which is like, it's the most iconic thing uh, of this little experience. Um, and another thing is that once you drop in to this little area, you can access your emotes, but instantly when you go to like look for the emotes, you have one wheel that's like the first wheel you get of emotes. That one is made by Epic, which they gave you like already set emotes that just like they either express like love or peace, or there's one with a sign which is like protesting for like peace or unity. So they already give you these set of emotes that go with the event, if that makes sense. Um, so a lot of people jump the gun, and I get it. This is a very, very, very bizarre thing that they would do. But after seeing it, my biggest thing is that I hope that younger generations see this and they become curious. Mom, what is this? Who's MLK? If they don't know, oh, mom, is this true? Is it like, if this sparks a conversation rather than being a controversy? Because I don't.
Yeah,
It's a
like the intention
it's a
the intention is definitely there, but like but like
exactly.
these kids are definitely not gonna be doing that. They're just gonna be fucking flossing in front of MLK, and that's the fucking
and
that's the fucking like disrespectful part of it all.
and that's the thing. It speaks volumes. If that's the case, it speaks volumes of the people and not the company. For me, when
Yeah,
I did the whole thing.
I still think it's weird for fucking Epic to do
No,
that.
it's not weird. It is weird. It's bizarre. It is unexpected. It is. Some people might call it tone deaf, because why would you include something like this in such a in a game? For me, it makes sense because it's the biggest game in the world, and you want to spread that. You want to legit people that might not even know about MLK, because there's legit people that don't know something as simple as Puerto Rico being a territory of the United States. Like there's a lot of ignorance in the world, and I think this, at the very least, will make a few people go like, oh, okay, well, who is this? What is this about? Oh yeah, this happened. Oh yeah, this is important.
Yeah,
Um,
it goes a little bit more beyond the classroom aspect of it, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for me, I did the thing. I did the whole walkthrough thing, and I got to the end, and it gives you a spray that is essentially, um, it says DC 63. It lets you know of when this took place.
God, that's so weird. That's
Yeah.
so
It,
weird.
it's bizarre. Because it's in game terms, and in gamer territory, it's always, everything's mocking and everything's just joking and everything's not serious. But this is a risk. This is an incredible risk they took. In my experience with it, I saw no one like perform anything that was like like you mentioned, Jay. Like, I didn't see anyone mock anything. Everyone was like legit standing in front of murals for like a good couple of seconds reading, and then they would like move on to the next thing. It was like a nice museum tour. That was my experience. A lot of people might differ. A lot of people are gonna criticize this. For me, it's a risk. It's bizarre. I see the intent. It's a sensitive topic because of which icon we're talking about. Um, but I think that it's very subjective. It's subjective of where do you lie on this? Because there's people that really don't believe in this movement. So you're gonna get all around the spectrum. You're gonna get people that heartedly agree with this being included in Fortnite, to people saying that this is the most offensive thing they've seen in their life. Um, but yeah, that's it's still going. If y'all are interested, like, you can check it out on YouTube and see how it is, so you can have context on it with it. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, that's gonna do it for the podcast.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So okay, so uh, you said you're going back to Catherine this week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Just Catherine. Yeah, just Catherine.
Okay.
And probably hop into more Chrono Trigger when I get the chance because I want to dedicate the time it deserves because it's a JRPG. It's
All right.
amazing.
Cool.
Yes,
Cool.
sir. I'll probably be along there with you. I need something to fill in on my Final Fantasy Fridays other than 14. I might dive into Chrono Trigger.
Hey,
I was I
Might
was
turn to Square Enix Fridays.
I was gonna propose that whenever I do eventually get Tsushima's director's cut, that we should do hop into the multiplayer and run around in that for a bit.
Oh fuck yeah!
sir.
Let's do it,
Yeah,
man.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do
we
it.
should.
I'm down.
But yeah, as for me, really just more Dragon's Dogma, and that's probably gonna be it for the foreseeable future. I do have, after watching that Resident Evil retrospective, I do have an itch to go back to RE2, so I'll probably be doing that. But I just know the moment I see Mr. X, I'm gonna put it down. So yeah, yeah. But
Just think. If you get scared, just keep thinking that the reason why he has a trench coat and the hat is because he wants to sell you something. That's it. He wants to sell you some Gucci bags. That's it. That's all you gotta think about. You won't be scared no more.
My problem is
wants to sell you
like I love
bodybuilding.
immersing myself in these things, so I love playing it at like fucking like 3 a.m. with my lights turned off. And like I love that full experience, and I just scare myself when I do that shit, but I can't stop doing it. But
Hey, play Outlast.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
Nah, man. He can't even do Resident Evil 2. You think he's gonna do Outlast?
Yeah, come on, man.
Bro.
But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for the podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.